All right, so welcome back. This is day 10 of the Modern Marathon, and we have still 49 decks left on the wheel, which seems crazy because it feels like it's been forever, but somehow there's 49 left. And so without further ado, let's spin the wheel and see what deck we are playing first. Grinding Breach. All right, so Grinding Breach. This is a mostly Izzet but white splash Jeskai deck that is a combo/tempo deck that is trying to assemble the following combo: Underworld Breach and Grinding Station. And 0 mana artifact. So if you have Underworld Breach, Grinding Station, and a 0 mana artifact, you can escape the 0 mana artifact from your graveyard to the battlefield by getting rid of 3 cards from the graveyard. And then the artifact entering will give you an artifact for Grinding Station to sacrifice to put 3 more cards in the graveyard. And you can mill yourself over and over and over until you either hit Thassa's Oracle or Grape Shot, whatever it is that you need to win the game with this combo. You also, of course, have Emry and Ragavan to get mana from Mox Amber, and you can get the blue that you need to cast Oracle via having Emry plus Mox Amber in play, as you can just keep looping the Ambers, tapping them for mana and sacking them to Grinding Station, since Grinding Station untaps each time. You also have other things to bring back, like Emry plus Bauble, Emry plus Haywire Might, and you've got Expressive Iteration for more cards, and then a few one-ofs like 1 Lightning Bolt, which you can also escape with Breach sometimes if you don't have the full combo, but you have a sufficient stock of Graveyard Filler. And then, of course, Urza's Saga, which finds any of these 0 or 1-drop artifacts, or can just make constructs to beat down. And then, of course, the One Ring, because that's the format we're in right now. Sideboard, random assortment of other spells for various purposes. And it's not much more complicated than that, so let's jump into the first league. Round 1, playing Grinding Breach on the draw. We only have a single island here, so mulling this hand. We have 2 lands, 2 breaches, Heat, Bauble, Ring, which is not great, but I would rather have this hand than go to 5. So I suppose I will keep this and put one of the breaches back. All right, opponent plays tapped Rogren, probably on elementals. So let's go Bauble ourselves so that we can see if we want to fetch the card away or not. Bauble ourselves. Top card is Breeding Pool. I do not want to draw Breeding Pool, so I will fetch instead. And let's get Steam Vents tapped, because it's overwhelmingly likely that we do not need to hold up on Holy Heat. If they play a turn 2 spell, it's probably just going to be Wrenn and 6, which we can't heat anyway. Well, we drew another land. Opponent just plays Misty and passes. We drew Breach. All right, well, play Sacred Foundry tapped, I guess, and then just pass the turn. Go ahead, opponent. They fetch, put Indotha Triumph into play, so yeah, they've got to be elementals. Windswept Heath, still not playing anything. All right, Argo. So let's play Expressive Iteration. Put one of these into your hand, so definitely want Emry in hand. And then I have nothing to cast an Holy Heat on, so we'll just exile. Oh, so this is the bottom, so put the Heat on the bottom, exile the Tarn, play the Tarn, and then just pass. Opponent fetches and grabs Hallowed Fountain and untaps. Plays a Forest, and now I'm guessing Omnath. No, the One Ring. Well, one of the broken 4-drops. All right, so there's nothing else we're going to be doing, so let's just fetch now. Put Steam Vents into play. Tapped. All right, so opponent's going to start drawing with the Ring. We can also deploy a Ring on our turn, and that's probably the best move. So let's just go shock this in, play the Ring. Let's draw with it now. We drew Breach, so yep, all the breaches in hand, and back to the opponent. All right, Island. Opponent prismatics our Ring and plays Delighted Halfling. Well, we're probably losing this game now then, unless we can get online really quickly, because they're going to start drawing crazy amounts of cards with the Ring. All right, so what can I do here? I can heat this, dash Ragavan, and then what? I guess that's the move. So heat this, dash Ragavan, attack the opponent. Let me take 2 down to 15, presumably, unless they're just going to Solitude this Ragavan. All right, looks like they're taking it. Exiled Teferi, which I can cast, so yeah, let's do that. So shock the Steam Vents in, cast Teferi, and then we'll bounce the Ring back to their hand. We drew a Ring of our own, and then pass. And then Ragavan comes back. All right, opponent plays another land. Shocks goes to 13. Plays Delighted Halfling. Plays Elish Norn. All right, so the Ring doesn't get an ETB trigger anymore, but... All right, so plus Teferi. Now what? I can play the Ring with no trigger. I'm not attacking this into this, so yeah, let's just go Ring, because I don't have Delirium with Heat, unfortunately. And even so, I still wouldn't be able to kill Norn. So let's draw a card. Urza's Saga. All right, so let's go Saga, play Emry, and then just pass, and then they can kill Teferi. All right, yeah, Urza's Saga, play Emry. She doesn't get an ETB trigger, but so be it. And then pass it back. Elesh Norn also shuts off Grinding Station untapping, so we can't combo while she's in play either. All right, opponent plays their own Teferi, bounces our ring back, plays Boseiju, plays Solitude to eat our Emery, and then they're just going to attack Teferi. All right, so we drew another Ragavan. Saga goes up. I think it's just play ring, hold up Construct token. I don't have enough to cast and heat twice, and even if I did, so what? So we go ring, gets no trigger, but so be it. Draw with the ring. All right, let's play a land, fetch, grab island out of our deck. And now we only have one more fetchable land, so now let's just pass and make a construct on their end step. Yeah, looks like that's the plan. Opponent is casting Omnath. So they draw 2 cards, play a land, they get the life and the mana. Fetch, so we're going to take 4 and go to 10. And then Norn plus Solitude attacking puts us to 3. They redeploy their ring, draw with the ring, plus the fairy. They didn't attack. Did they forget that Norn shuts our ring trigger off? I guess they did. Make a construct. All right, what did we draw? So lose life from the ring. We drew heat. So before seeing if we want to use the mana, let's tap the ring to draw. All right, we drew bolt. So how many cards do I have in my graveyard? They have 16, so I'd have to cast bolt a ton of times in order to do this, so that's not going to happen. So it's probably best to just construct again. So yeah, make a construct, and then we go tutor, I suppose, Haywire Might, and then take their ring off the board. Because the other options just grab Mox Amber, but again, we can't win with Elesh Norn in play. What am I going to... So I'm going to put Enchantment in the graveyard with Saga. That turns on Holy Heat on. I don't have green for Haywire Might anyway. So yeah, let's just grab Mox Amber. All right, so Ragavan's free because it's the only thing that turns the Mox Amber on. So let's go cast Ragavan. And then I can't cast stuff at instant speed while Teferi's on the board. So I have Delirium, right? Enchantment, land, instant, sorcery, artifact. So we've got to go Heat Norn, Bolt Norn. Yeah, so Heat Norn. They're going to cast Solitude in response to get the double triggers. Sure. So Solitude enters, exiles Ragavan and one of the construct. And then Heat resolves, does 6 to Norn. Then we Bolt Norn. Then I what? Play Spire Bluff tapped. And then Ragavan normally. And then just pass. And then try to breach a bunch of stuff in next turn. Cast Ragavan, play a tapped Spire Bluff, pass. So let's see, I've got how much fodder? I have 9 cards in my graveyard, so I can escape something twice and 3 times if I fetch. So I can cast Bolt 3 times next turn, or I can cast Heat, but then Delirium will turn off. And that might just be the play. Omnath triggers, they fetch, and get a Stomping Ground, shock it in. So now they add the mana. They have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 mana, or 14 with Delighted Halfling. All right, Solitude, we lose another creature. We lose the Construct, I guess. They should just hit Ragavan because that's the only thing turning on Mox Amber. Delighted Halfling taps for Wrenn and 6. Oh, okay, so they're just going to ping Wrenn and 6 with, or ping Ragavan with Wrenn and 6. Gotcha. All right, there goes that. And then they can attack us for 10. All right, so take 10, go to 8. They're up to 22. Opponent plays Fable the Mirror Breaker. Do you still prefer playing Modern over Pioneer with the 1 ring? Yes. Pioneer is just a catastrophe right now. And not every Modern deck is a ring deck. That being said, both formats have major problems. All right, so we drew Haywire Might, so we're going to fetch... Okay, so we have to play the other ring this turn because this ring's going to kill us and we need to not die to this board. So what can I do? I can go Fetch Shock Breeding Pool, play Haywire Might, eat their ring, play a new ring. So I'm going to draw first. All right, we drew this. So what is the move here? Playing Teferi is just cycling Teferi. How much mana do I have in total? I can go Teferi, and then Mox Amber is on. And then I get 1 from that and 1 from this, and then a 1 from the land. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it's down to 3 by playing the ring. And then I need another 2 to cast and activate Haywire Might. So I'll have 1 mana left over after that. All right, that seems fine. So let's go to Teferi, tap, tap, tap. All right, it resolved immediately. So what am I doing? Rather than hitting anything of theirs, it might be better to just bounce my own ring and then play it again. And then that gives me another ring to follow it up with next turn. Because there's nothing I can really take them off of other than just like getting rid of a token. So, okay, yeah, let's bounce my own ring. We drew Urza's Saga, but I can't play that. So play the ring, tap, 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 tap. Ring trigger. We're safe from them for the turn. Draw another card with the ring. All right, now I got to fetch shock to 3. So Tarn, go grab Breeding Pool, untapped, play Haywire Might, and then kill the ring. We go back up to 5. And we've played land drops this turn. There's no reason to just run Mox Amber out onto the field right now. So I just go to my end step and discard Scalding Tarn. Yeah, that's the play. Discard Tarn. All right, opponent's turn. So this turn, they get to discard with Fable. They discarded Heath Teferi. They get to make a treasure, and they get to kill Teferi off and get a land back with Wrenn and 6. So they get to gain even more life. All right, gets a land back with Wrenn and 6. Plays the land, goes up to 26. Sending the Shaman and Omnath at Teferi, I guess. Just sending everything at Teferi so they gain a bunch of more life with Solitude, right? All right, well, attacking me doesn't make any sense. So yeah, all right. They sent one of the Solitudes at me, so they gained less life than they could have. All right, another Fable. Play Leyline Binding, and they're going to bind our ring. They play their own ring. Okay. Then they're going to draw with the ring. And they have another 3 mana to do something. And they're casting another Fable. All right. Well, okay then. So I'm playing Urza's Saga 100% as the land for the turn. So play Urza's Saga. I definitely need to play this other ring. I somehow have all 4 breaches in the deck in my hand. So, all right. First things first, the ring is going to be played. So let's play the ring. So tap, 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 tap. All right. New ring. Draw with the ring. Spell Pierce. Yeah, not that helpful right now. So it's got to be Breach this turn, right? I can't just do nothing. So Breach and then cast Haywire Might and exile their ring so they can't continue to draw out of this. And then try to set up more things for next turn. Alternatively, do what? Yeah, all right. So I got to keep my green untapped. So cast the Breach, playing this and this. And then let's cast Haywire Might. Cast Haywire. Exiling land. I don't want to take myself off Delirium if I don't have to, so one of the heats. Exile your ring. They just didn't tap it in response, huh? All right. Well, I can play something else. What else do I want to play? Probably kill something on the board, right? Maybe Teferi to deny them a draw. I'll have to deal with all these Fables next turn as well. I can get Ragavan back, and then Ragavan just gets killed, so let's instead... let's heat Teferi or Omnath. That has to be it, right? I guess I don't really care about Omnath. Let's just deny them a draw. So heat, Bolt Teferi, and exile Tarn. All right, Teferi dies. I unfortunately don't have more mana, so then we just go to end step. Breach dies off, and then pass back to the opponent, who gets a bunch of Fable triggers. They are opting not to discard. All right. So this flips over, which means in 1 turn from now, we will never be able to stick Emery on the board because they can just copy Solitude. So next turn, I probably have to try to kill everything. Cast Prismatic Ending on our ring. All right, gets a land back with Wrenn and 6. They may as well just attack with all of these Shamans, right? Gain more life off of Omnath. There is absolutely no reason for them to be attacking with Solitude, but okay. And they could have attacked with more Shamans and just didn't. All right, well, they gained a treasure. So the good news is they have no cards in hand. The bad news is that we're really in a tough spot. All right, so Urza's Saga. We're never going to make enough constructs for that to matter. We've lost how many rings now? So we're 2 rings down. One of them is under Leyline Binding. Even if we kill Leyline Binding, we don't get it back. So I can't kill enough of their stuff to prevent them from hitting us again. So I think the only move is to just iteration and try to find another ring to protect ourselves again. Let's say I go... It's not a matter of how much mana I have with Breach. It's how much fodder I have. I can get 3 escapes from the graveyard, which lets me do what? Kill 3 of their creatures and then we still die? Yeah, all right. So let's go Expressive Iteration. See what we hit. We hit Grinding Station. All right. That'll do it. So put this in hand, this in the bottom, and this in exile. So now let's go Grinding Station. All right. So Grinding Station... I guess always yield to this, and then no. And then let's cast Emery from exile. Where is that? Cast Emery, paying a blue. All right, Emery triggers. We put some more stuff in the graveyard. All right, so now we go tap for blue, Grinding Station, targeting ourselves, sacking the Amber. And then let's go Breach. Let's get back. I guess I can just play another Amber. So cast Amber, untap Grinding Station, tap this for blue, mill ourselves, sack the Amber. We're at 11 cards left in deck. Escape Amber, getting rid of, doesn't matter at this point. Done, comes back, untap Grinding Station, tap for blue, Grinding Station, mill us, sack Amber, All right, there's Oracle. So escape Mox Amber, get rid of these things. Untap Grinding Station, tap for blue, Grinding Station, mill us, sack this. 5 cards left, cast Amber, get rid of some stuff. Done, untap Grinding Station, target ourselves, sack Amber, get Amber back again, untap Grinding Station, and now we're at 0 cards, cast Oracle. All right, that was quite the slug. Game 2, what do I want against Elementals? Prismatic to eat Renin 6 and stuff, probably Fury to kill their guys, kill their walkers. Definitely Force and Negation. Spell Pierce is good for hitting Teferi, Renin 6, and the Ring, which are a bunch of cards that we care about. So probably want Spell Pierce. Needle for any of those cards is also good. Wear Terror is okay. It kills Fable and Leyline Binding. I have to cut a bunch of stuff too, though. Oh, what am I cutting? I'm going to go with Drum. And what else? There's so many things that need to be cut. Ragavan versus the Renin 6 deck. And Delighted Halflings and whatnot, especially on the draw. You can shave a Heat, shaving, what else? Shave an Emery. I just don't think I'm going to be able to stick anything on the board. 4 more have to go. How good is Teferi in this matchup? It's not that good, actually. One of the Baubles. Needle isn't good. They have ley lines and endings, so okay, not Needle. And let's run this back. Yeah, JS, that was just game 1. Amazingly, that took so long. I think we have 8 minutes left on our clock right now. I had to fight them through the ring activation. I lost count of how many times. All right, game 2 on the draw against Elementals. This is kind of an awkward hand, but I think I can keep it. Again, double breach is somewhat of an issue. Misty Rainforest fetch. All right, I gotta make sure not to clock here, so let's play quickly. Shocking in, so they're gonna play Halfling. Yeah, all right, so we're gonna kill that immediately. All right, Spire Bluff, shoot this, go. Play Flooded Strand, fetch, Steam Vents. So now they're going to play Renin 6. Renin 6 it is. I could play Urza's Saga here, but that doesn't seem great. It's especially bad if they follow that up with Teferi. So I probably just want to go Shock Expressive, even if I can't play lands off of it. All right. I could evoke Fury this turn. Yeah, so let's do that. So let's put this in our hand, this on the bottom, and then Fury. I can evoke Fury from exile, right? Evoke Fury, get rid of one of the breaches, kill this. All right. Pass the turn. They play a land. They have another Renin 6, okay. All right, Argo. Well, we just keep drawing land, so now it's going to be Urza Saga pass. They fetch, get Indotha Triome, play another land, fetching the land. So Ring or Omnath, which one is it? Either one's bad for us. Teferi. Oh, so they're leaving up Leyline Binding mana. They're just plussing it? I would have just bounced our Saga immediately. Renin 6 gets a land back. All right, we drew Teferi. If I play it, I can't actually bounce anything of theirs. That might be fine though. I'm not sure. Let's see. I can breach this back and then no, I can't breach anything. I can fetch, breach. Fury doesn't matter. So yeah, it's probably just better to make a construct. So let's just go Tarn and I'm gonna fetch Breeding Pool and pass back and fetch Breeding Pool, make a construct. All right, opponent untaps, plays a land. So not Omnath this turn. Plus is Teferi again. They're still not bouncing our Saga. Plus, Renin 6 get a land back. Are they just holding Solitude up or Leyline Binding up? All right, make a construct. They're fetching in response. Sure. They're Besajuing this. All right, fetch. Grab Breeding Pool. Sure, Besaju resolves. Let's grab Steam Vents out of the deck. We make a 1/1 construct. Oh, now what? Do I have Delirium? I have... Well, even if I have Delirium, once I get Unholy Heat Escaped, I won't have it anymore. So I think I just have to Teferi and just minus on nothing to draw a card. Because this hand's not getting any better. So, okay. Attack Renin 6 to keep it off of ulting. Maybe I'm just supposed to attack them. Don't know. Play Teferi. Oh, I need white mana. Shock this in. Play Teferi. Minus no target. Draw card. All right, pass the turn. What did you miss me playing yesterday? Yesterday, we played Kalatha Red, then Mono Green Devotion Ramp, then Domain Zoo, and then Kieran Stacks. All right, opponent has rings, drawing cards with the ring. Our hand's just terrible is the thing here. All right, we drew our own ring. So let's go Saga, play ring. I'm going to keep this open in case they draw Haywire Might. Draw. All right, so opponent Leyline Bindings in response, of course, so we don't draw a card. So just pass the turn back. All right, so opponent's drawing a lot of cards off this ring. They're at 9. Draw another 2. They can bounce the ring back to their hand with Teferi any time. Endurance, or Besaju our land. All right, get the last fetchable, or last Besajuable land out of our deck. Renin 6 returns Besaju. Oh, so now they're going to strip mine us out of the game with Besaju. How do I get out of this? I need to draw Bolt. There's Haywire Might. All right, so let's go. It's probably better to get our own ring. Might eat this. Let's just try to draw again. And if they have binding, they have binding. All right, there's another binding. So I need to kill Teferi. So let's go do what? Breach back, heat, and then I can heat Teferi. All right, so play Breach. Cast Unholy Heat, targeting Teferi. Exiling what? Can I keep Delirium? So Urza Saga stays in the graveyard. Get rid of that one. If I get rid of Teferi, then I should still have Delirium, right? Artifact, creature, land, enchantment. Yeah, all right. But then if I do it again, I will lose out. Oh, do they have a counterspell? They're flashing Prismatic ending onto Breach. Sure. All right, just play this tapped pass. I'm going to hope I can kill them to their own ring damage. That's, I guess, my only out here. We're probably going to die to the clock if we can't beat them this game is the issue. All right, running 6. What am I doing next turn? Breach, Haywire might get our ring back. Do it again. I need to be quick about it. Omnath. Well, that gets rid of the damage them to death plan. So now I need to combo off. All right, opponent doing a whole bunch of stuff. New Teferi. Plus is Teferi. So I'm going to go Breach, Haywire Might, get my ring back. All right, Breach, cast Haywire Might, getting rid of this, this, and this. No, not that one. This one. They're going to flash Prismatic onto Breach again. Sure. That resolves. Okay, Haywire Might, eat the ring, or eat binding. Get our ring back. Let's try to draw a card. They have yet another Leyline binding. All right, Bauble, target them. Play this tapped. Go. All right, I think the only way I escape this is I'm just F6ing through the rest of their turns because it's still going to take them a little bit to actually kill me. So I just need to let them rack up time on triggering Omnath, drawing with the ring, plussing their walkers, etc., etc., etc. I think we're strip mined out of the game, right? Yeah. So now they're just going to keep plussing Ren and 6 to get Boseiju back and take all of our lands away. All right, they bounced their ring. Now we take 4 from getting hit by Omnath. Fetch, new ring, or same ring back, letting us go to our turn. All right, play Urza Saga, pass. Boseiju plus Ren is disgusting. Yep, Ren and 6 is one of the cards that should not exist. Solitude. All right, we are going to get killed here, but again, I just need them to rack up as much time running out as possible. Boseiju, no, not using it. All right, so they attack us for 7. We go to 8. They can kill us slightly faster if they just Ren ping us instead of plussing. Opponent pluses Ren, pluses Teferi. All right, they go to cleanup. What are we doing on our turn? Play Emery. Emery triggers, doesn't matter. Opponent is going to flash in Solitude or something. Yeah, Solitude. All right, so now all they have to do is just go to combat and kill us. All right, sideboarding. I need to play this game as fast as possible. So we're never beating them down fast enough, so I just need to combo kill them. I therefore need to play as many cards that enable us to combo kill them as quickly as possible. So Ragavan back in. I'm not going to bother with any of the heats because we cannot play a grindy game. Grindy game equals we lose. Let's take the Teferi out. Let's take out what else? Fury is only good for killing a Ren and 6 that's already resolved. So let's cut Fury. Probably the same thing with Prismatic. And then just what? Needle the Ren and 6? All right, so let's run this back and see if we can combo off in less than 3 minutes. So, all right. Gotta play at lightning speed for the next one. On the play. Keep. Cast Bauble. Crack. Spire Bluff. Ragavan. Go. It's unfortunate that the Oracle is in our hand. All right, opponent fetches. All right, that's fine. Saga, trigger, immediately go to attacks, swing. Always yield to this. We get Delighted Halfling. Sure, I'll cast that. No, I won't. I want to keep Force Negation up. Opponent plays that, and now they're going to play Ren and 6, presumably. Counter. All right, back to Ragavan. That goes off. Shock this in. Swing. Trigger, exiling, nothing that we can use. Pass. So I'm just going to pass priority on everything until I can use Saga. Activate this. Opponent flashes Boseiju on it. Sure. Use the ability, grabbing, Hallowed Fountain. We make a construct, land, force up, breach, can't breach, fetch. Opponent fetches in response. All right, Steam Vents, shock this in, cast breach. I'm just going to cast the Bauble to get damage in faster. Done. Go to attacks, swing, swing. Treasure, Teferi, play that. Pick this back up. Crack. I'm not going to crack Bauble. Go. Opponent plays 4th land. Omnath would be a big issue right now. Ring. Ring is also an issue. Oh, I could have forced it. All right, play Urza Saga and then just pass. Actually, I'm just going to play Oracle onto the board now. No, I'm not. Pass priority. All right, they're at 4. They draw with the ring. Play a land. They can't do anything at instant speed because it's a fairy, so if they want to play something, they have to do it now. Play a new ring, counter that. Force negation. All right, do we just have lethal now? They can just binding and that's it? Prismatic the Construct, sure. Cast Mox Amber. plus attack with Ragavan. And then they're just going to take 2 and then take 2 off the ring on upkeep, so they die. You got a ring. Sure, I'll cast this. All right, pass to you. Upkeep trigger. They can't play anything at instant speed because Teferi's on the board. Whew. 22 seconds left on the clock. All right, round 2. I'm actually shaking a little bit from the adrenaline. All right, our hand does have most of the combo pieces necessary, so yeah, keep it. And we're on the draw. Breeding Pool tapped. All right, let's just go, land Haywire Might pass the turn, I guess. Let's grab our own Breeding Pool. Cast Haywire Might. Go ahead. Fetch Breeding Pool tapped. Is this Living End? Snow Plane. Oh, it's the Taking Turns deck. Okay. Ring Cosmic Rebirth. Putting the ring into their hand. All right, let's go Saga. And then what? Grinding Station Amber? I guess I don't have to expose that this turn, right? No, because I need the mana to do everything. So I need to go, yeah, Grinding Station, Amber, and then pass it back and hope I can untap with Breach. Temple Garden. Opponent plays Ewit. Gets Cosmic Rebirth back in their hand. Okay. I think we just win next turn then. Unless they have Force and Negation, as I guess is the only way. Saga goes up to 2. All right, let's see if Breach resolves. Cast Underworld Breach. They do run Force and Negation if I recall. All right, they didn't. So mill me, sack Amber, and then cast Amber. Exile this, land, Breach. Oh, I needed to sack Haywire Might last turn, didn't I? So how am I going to do this? I need to get... So the problem is I need to Breach back something that is different than Amber. Okay, so I need to go Breach, Haywire Might, get Ragavan back, and then I can't untap the Grinding Station is the problem. So if I keep looping this, I'll eventually get to the point where I can do what? I'll eventually hit Emery, at which point I can cast Emery. Okay, so it's fine. All right, cast Amber, here. Yeah, so I'll eventually get Emery. There's Emery. Cast Emery. Oh, but then I have to exile. Oh, no, but I get to keep one of the Ambers. All right, so we're good. Oh, no, we're not good, because I need to untap Grinding Station, right? Yeah. So I guess I just get Emery back and set up for next turn. Yeah, that's the only way I can think of out of this. So cast Emery, and then exile land, Bauble, Amber, leaving an Amber in the graveyard. Oh, no, because Emery mills me. Right, I can keep doing it. Cast Amber, exile, land, Ragavan. And now they can Solitude this in response. Yeah, so they're Solituding this in response. But then we have another Emery in the graveyard anyway. Untap, sack this, mill again, cast Emery. Oh no, I don't have blue. So, oh, this is rough. Okay, so now what? Okay, so let's get Amber back. Get rid of these 3, right? Because I can't play a land this turn, and so the Breach is going to go away. That's the problem. So what if I sack Haywire Might? I still don't have the mana to actually play Emery. So I guess I just pass at this point. Breach dies. They're going to play the ring on their turn. I can Haywire Might it and try to go off again. All right, yeah, pass. Breach dies. Go ahead. This 4-color turns deck is annoying once it gets going. Yeah, it's just another ring looping deck. This deck would not be anywhere near as good without the ring. All right, so they play a ring. Activate the ring. So I need to set myself up to have a better Breach turn if I hit Breach again. So the Amber's useless at the moment other than making Constructs. So mill myself on the end step, sacking Amber. All right, this goes off. If I do this now, I can't play Expressive Iteration. So let's just, well, I can't do that anyway. All right, float the mana. Use the Saga. I guess I can grab Springleaf Drum, which lets this tap for mana. Yeah, all right. Don't use Grinding Station. And then I need to Iteration into the answer. So let's go Iteration, red here, blue here. We found Spell Pierce, which is not going to be that great. We found Ragavan, also not very good. All right, so let's put Spell Pierce in hand. What am I doing the rest of this turn? I want to play the other Saga, so it's not going to be a land. But I can't get rid of both of them. All right, put Ragavan on the bottom, exile this. And then what? I guess hold up Spell Pierce or for another ring. Shock that in. Use Haywire Might's ability to get rid of this. All right, get rid of the 1 ring. And then just hold up Spell Pierce, fizzle this mana. They play a land. They run out to Fairy. Well, I guess I'm going to use this now because otherwise it becomes useless. So obviously they pay for it. It resolves. So I can Grinding Station mill itself, or... yeah, mill using itself, but then I don't have it anymore to deny them a draw. If I ever do draw Breach, I can just get it back. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to target myself and sack the Grinding Station to deny them the card draw. We milled over Teferi. Yeah, okay. We milled over Teferi Expressive. They attack us with Ewit. We go to 14. We drew Emery. All right, let's go Saga and then play Emery. Milling over a bunch of other stuff. And then I can bolt something, but I don't really care. They can take Teferi up if they want. All right, pass it back. They plus Teferi. So they have Cosmic Rebirth in their hand, so they can Cosmic Solitude back. No blocks. Play another land. Fetch. They are ephemerating Witness, getting back Solitude, and now they can just Solitude Emery. Yeah. Well, we drew Breach. So what do I do now? Can I win? I can go Breach. I have another land drop, so let's play land. And then I go Breach, get back Amber and Emery. That costs me 4 here. And then I need Grinding Station. I have just enough to do it if they have no interaction. Okay. Grab a land, play Breach. All right, let's get back Amber, exile, exile, exile. All right, looks like they're just F6ing, so let's cast Emery. Tarn, doesn't really matter at this point. Get Emery back, Emery triggers, then activate Amber, and then we play. All right, they see that we have the win. So, for sideboard games, I definitely want Force. I definitely want Spell Pierce because it stops Teferi, Ring, and their own forces. And since they're playing Force and Solitude, I want my own Teferi so that I have protection on my turn. Is Tormod's Crypt useful? They do get a lot of stuff back from their graveyard, right? They have Eternal Witness and Cosmic Rebirth, so that's probably useful. But I think everything else isn't useful. So then what goes? Ragavan is atrocious. They have these 0/3 Philology Archaeologists in their deck, so this can never even hit them. Same thing with Unholy Heat. They have all these rebuy effects, so the Unholy Heats don't even really keep their creatures dead forever. So, let's see. I'm not bringing anything else in, so I can probably, put a Ragavan back? That's probably fine right there. All right, submit. All right, game 2, playing Grinding Breach versus taking turns. His hand's not keepable, even though it has all the combo pieces in it. Mulligan, all right, better. What am I putting back? Probably just, no, not a land, because we're going to get to the One Ring. So probably Bobble, then. There's always the chance they don't have Philology on turn 2. Oh, we were on the draw, though. That makes Ragavan so much worse. I'll still keep it and just put a Bobble back. All right, Misty Rainforest. Well, we drew Breach. That's nice. So let's go Bobble ourselves. What am I going to draw? I'm going to draw Emery. I would like to draw Emery. So let's play Spire Bluff, Ragavan, and then pass the turn. Opponent fetches, gets Breeding Pool tapped, plays a Plains, Pithing Needle. Oh no, can we not go off now? What did I board in? I didn't board in... No, I boarded into Teferi. I still have Teferi, so I can still bounce that. All right, let's just attack them with Ragavan. We exiled Hallowed Fountain. They go to 17. All right, now we can play Emery. Shock this, cast Emery. We milled over Oracle, Expressive, Underworld Breach, land. Pluto plays Forest, Teferi. If they're smart, they'll bounce Emery now. Yep, okay. Well, there's Saga. I don't care about attacking Teferi, so let's attack them. Attack you. They go to 15. We exile a Teferi. Well, we're playing that. I'm playing it after Emery, though. So let's go Saga, trigger. And I guess I can play all of them, and then... All right, they don't have Solitude. Otherwise, they would have just done it. So, cast Emery. We milled Springleaf Drum, among some other things. All right, let's cast Teferi. Bouncing Needle, which they can just replay, but at least it basically taxes them by 1. All right, pass the turn. They plus Teferi. So I wonder what they'll do now. They probably want to get Needle back on the board, right? Ewit, get a land. Replay the land. And then they're going to just fetch a land and play Needle again, probably. Yeah, Needle. So now they name Emery. All right, Saga goes to 2. We can probably beat them down with Constructs, I think. I also want to get this ring online. So let's plus Teferi. I can't attack into this. I guess I can Emery attack since now that doesn't matter. So let's attack with Emery into Teferi. Keep it from being at 3. All right, Teferi goes to 1. And then I guess, yeah, instead of making a Construct, let's just play the ring and start drawing some cards. So land, fetch, island, play the ring, draw, cast Bobble, Bobble you. They're drawing a Misty Rainforest. All right, pass the turn. We drew Bolt. So what relevance is in the graveyard? Oracle's in the graveyard, Bobble's in the graveyard. So they're just going to attack our Teferi now, right? I will trade with this because now they have Solitude mana, so I don't imagine these creatures are going to be able to stick around. Creatures trade off, and now what? They're Cosmic Rebirthing back Ewit, and then getting Cosmic Rebirth back, of course. Then playing Needle. Ooh, Needle the One Ring. All right, well, this goes up to 3. Okay, what can we breach out? We don't have Grinding Station in the graveyard. I can breach out Expressive Iteration, and that's really it. Making a Construct doesn't seem terribly useful, especially with their board, but it's like, what else am I doing? Am I just going Breach Expressive? That seems terrible. All right, let's make a Construct. Then resolve this, and let's grab Tormod's Crypt to keep them off of Or I guess I could grab Haywire Mite and then take the one of the needles off. I haven't played a land yet, so I can fetch Breeding Pool. Okay. And I have treasure tokens. So let's grab Haywire Mite. And then let's play land, fetch, shock, and Breeding Pool. It's plus to fairies, as to not forget that. And then let's go... I don't have the mana to do it all, right? No, I do have the mana to do it all. So let's go eat the one that's on Emery, and then Emery it back, then play it again, and then eat the one that's on the ring, and now draw with the ring. All right, and we played a land this turn. We can't do anything else. I guess I can attack Teferi to death, right? Oh no, I just made this construct. I can't attack. All right, pass the turn. So now if they attack, all right, they're just conceding the match. Excellent, we got there. On to round 3. All right, round 3 on the play. Well, let's see. The hand has a turn 1 Ragavan, but if the Ragavan dies or they have a blocker, then the hand becomes really bad. The strength of the hand is very high, and we have another Ragavan to follow it up with. I think it's a trap. What's mulligan? Well, this hand is worse in terms of having so many lands, but I guess it's okay overall. All right, I will keep it, and I will put back, I guess, the basic island, probably. No, one of the steam vents. All right, done. All right, shock steam vents in, cast Ragavan. What are we up against? Misty Rainforest, and then they just pass. All right, swing with Ragavan. Attack. They take 2 down to 18. Is it Living End? We exiled Seagate Restoration. Huh. All right. Let's just play Urza Saga Haywire Mite. Urza Saga Haywire Mite, pass the turn. Opponent fetches, gets Ketria Triome, plays an island. All right. Don't know what I'm playing against. Is it Rhinos but with Seagate for some reason? Like Seagate for subtlety? Yeah, that's what it looks like it is. Fire. So I'm guessing it's Rhinos with Seagate Restoration as a Force of Negation and Subtlety pitch card. All right, well, these die. Game 2. Ooh, we drew Spell Pierce. So let's go Island Pass. Otawara. 2 mana, cast Shardless. They revealed Seagate Mystical's Dispute, Seagate, a bunch of other things. Lorien revealed. Yeah, okay, so that's Rhino. So Spell Pierce this, and then make a Karnstruct. All right, drew Iteration, but let's just make a Karnstruct on upkeep. Or on main phase, rather. All right, so another Construct. Then we go Fetch. And let's see. Probably just... It's either Bobble or Drum. I guess it's probably Drum just so we have more mana. Oh, no. So if I get Drum, I can cast Expressive this turn. I just can't get a land off of it. Yeah, that's fine. So let's do Drum. And then Shock Breeding Pool in. Cast Expressive. All right, so definitely Teferi to hand. Bobble to... Emery to the bottom. Bobble to the exile. Cast Bobble. And then attack with the Construct. All right, opponent goes to 13, and so now they can Cascade again, but we do have a Teferi to follow that up and bounce a Rhino token back, and our Constructs are 4/4s. And I believe we also have Delirium, right? Artifact, creature, instant, enchantment, sorcery. Yeah. No attacks, pass back to us. All right, well, now I'm just going to play Teferi. So let's go Ragavan, so that I can use Ragavan for the drum. Cast Teferi. Okay, they force it. They didn't have Outburst mana, but now we can just attack them for 8. Swing with the Construct. All right, opponent's down to 5. So yeah, their mana is very awkward. All right, they conceded. Let's go to game 2. So I want Spell Pierce, Force of Negation, the other Teferi, probably Fury, EE, and then I don't want Unholy Heat because trading one for a half a card is bad. What else? Haywire Mite? Let's see. I guess they have Blood Moon, and they'll probably bring it in against me since I'm an Urza Saga deck. So I do want to be able to get rid of Blood Moon. Although, if they have a Blood Moon in play, the only way for me to actually tap for green is either a Ragavan Treasure or Drum, which is probably unrealistic. So, okay, get rid of Haywire Mite. And then what else do I want to get rid of? Ragavan on the draw is also substantially worse against the deck that's playing Dead Gone and Fire and Ice. All right, let's cut the Ragavans for now and then reevaluate if we go to game 3. All right, game 2 on the draw against Rhinos playing Breach. This hand's a bit slow. It also doesn't have white mana for Teferi, but it does have all the combo pieces. I will keep. I probably want to play Saga on turn 1, right? No. Okay, so it's 1 turn behind Blood Moon. So if I go Saga, and then I'm going to find the things I need faster, but that doesn't really matter. I guess it finds Amber. So if they want to play a Cascade spell on turn 3, it means they don't play Blood Moon. I'm also going to hold up Spell Pierce. All right, let's play Saga. Pass the back. There's nothing I want to Spell Pierce on turn 2 that they could play anyway. Cycle Lorien revealed to get an island. They get Steam Vents, Shocked In, and then they're going to pass to us, and they're going to ice this in upkeep. That's fine. All right, they didn't. So now we can go Scalding Tarn and then hold up mana to grab Hallowed Fountain for Spell Pierce. So I basically need to stop in their upkeep so I can fetch before they draw so they can't Violent Outburst in response. All right. All right, upkeep, fetch, grab Hallowed, and then proceed. I want to play Stomping Ground, and then doesn't do anything. All right, back to us. All right, so float a mana, and now what am I grabbing? Probably just Mox Amber. All right, Mox Amber, and then I can do Shock Steam Vents, play Emery, or do I just do Shock Steam Vents, play Grinding Station? No, let's just get Emery online. So shock this in, and then play Emery with this, holding up Spell Pierce. All right, Emery enters and triggers. I mill over Bauble, Fury Breach, Expressive, and then just pass it back to them with Spell Pierce with 2 blue mana up. All right, what are they doing on end step? Dead Gone are Emery, sure. All right, they're just passing it back to us. All right, so now I want to wait a turn for Teferi so that I can have Teferi plus Spell Pierce up. So let's just go Shock and Breeding Pool, play Grinding Station. If I play Breach, I can't play Emery yet. Yeah, all right, so let's just go play Grinding Station and then pass with Spell Pierce up. All right, the game of chicken continues. Opponent suspends Crashing Footfalls. Oh, another Spell Pierce. Can I win with Breach this turn? I go land Breach. I have 1 mana for Emery to play, and then I win from there. If I have to double Spell Pierce in response to keep Emery around, then... Or if I have to double Spell Pierce to resolve Breach, then I don't get there. So it might be correct to do what? Play Teferi this turn, and if it gets countered, just pass it back with double Spell Pierce up, and then try to go off next turn. That's probably better. Or I guess I don't have double Spell Pierce if I do that, so let's go 4 mana, Breach, play Emery. All right, let's try to go off. So Breach in, does Breach resolve? Force a negation. So I can double pierce this. So I can pierce it the first time, and then they would have to pay, and then they would pay for it, and then I would pierce it again, and then I don't have the mana to play Emery anymore. So yeah, let's just let it get countered. All right, pass it back. Rhinos is at 3 counters. Play Seagate Restoration, untapped. They're just gonna go for it now. All right, so we're gonna Spell Pierce this. All right, cast Spell Pierce. Mystical Dispute back. Well, it's another Spell Pierce. All right, then Shardless resolves. Triggers our Grinding Station, apparently. So then what's the best move from here? Play Teferi, bounce Shardless back to their hand. That's terrible, no. Play Teferi plus. So if I don't bounce Shardless to their hand, then they just attack Teferi and then they can evoke Fury and kill it. If I do bounce Shardless back to their hand, they can evoke Fury, kill Teferi, and then Shardless. All right, so let's play Saga, because we're going to play that for sure. I'm going to play Teferi, regardless of any other decision I make. So play Teferi. They have a Force of they had a Force of Negation as their last card, exiling Brazen Borrower. All right, well, that goes through. So now I guess the plan is try to win with the Constructs and just have Force of Negation up for when this unsuspends. All right, Shardless attacks us to 9. They pass back to us. We drew a Teferi. All right, well, in that case, so they have to have another counterspell. If I just resolve Teferi right now, then it's this, 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 and I can't force back up or activate the Saga unless it resolves. It says 2 counters left on it. I guess the best move is just try to resolve Teferi, right? Or is it even? I make a 4/4 Construct, and then I make another Construct next turn. Although if I do make a Construct, then I go Shields down for Force. So tough. I guess I get to keep Force up if I make the Construct, so let's just pass it back and make Constructs. Flash in Endurance. Okay, sure. So we lose our graveyard. That's all right. Rhinos is at 1 counter left. They're attacking. Yeah, all right. So we take 3, go to 6, and then make a Construct. All right, so now what am I drawing? I'm drawing Spell Pierce, so it's got to be correct to make another Construct. All right, make a Construct, and now we'll have 5/5 Constructs after I go fetch. So what am I tutoring? Springleaf Drum, play Teferi. Yeah, that seems fine. All right, cast Teferi, and then drum this one. All right, they have conceded to that. Excellent, we're 3-0 with Grinding Breach. On to round number 4. All right, round 4 on the draw with Grinding Breach. Well, we have a turn 1 Emery, which seems pretty good, and lots of redraws, so I will keep this. All right, opponent plays Breeding Pool, untapped. So again, I guess my guess is Living End. Yeah, it's Living End. Cycle Street Wraith. Cycle Architects of Will. All right, cast Bauble, cast Amber, cast Bauble, and then I will Bauble myself. I'm about to draw a Hallowed Fountain, so I do not want that. So let's go Flooded Strand, Fetch Shock. Well, I guess I do want Hallowed Fountain, but I just don't want to draw it. So get Hallowed Fountain, play Emery. Emery resolves, mills over, Grinding Station, 2 breaches, and a land. All right, well, I don't need this Bauble anymore now, so let's try to draw some more. They are drawing a land. Okay, pass back. So both the Baubles go off. Well, we bobbled Breach in. or we bobbled into a breach, and we have grinding station in the yard. So let's see, I'm a mana short because next turn I go breach, and then I only have one extra with the amber. They cycle Architects of Will. So what's the best move? If they main phase Living End, I can heat my own Emery to get it back. All right, well, I'm definitely casting, or do I just cast Grinding Breach right now so that I have everything set up for next turn? I can Emery back the Grinding Breach this turn and then have the combo ready for next turn. That's probably good. The other move is what? Just play Expressive Iteration? Yeah, all right. Shock this in, Emery, get back, Grinding Station, then cast Grinding Station with these two. And then I hold up Unholy Heat so that if they Living End main phase, I can shoot my Emery. Opponent has Force Negation, which unfortunately will exile this. All right, pass it back. And they exiled Shardless, so they definitely have another Cascade. Plays Steam Vents. All right, are they not casting it now? Fetch with Misty. Gets basic Island. All right, Violent Outburst, and they're doing it now. Sure. Puts Living End on the stack. We'll shoot this. And then I believe their triggers go off first, so it doesn't matter how they rearrange the top card of our deck, because Emery's going to mill after they... No, I mill first, because it's their turn. Well, we do need to find the second grinding station. All right, we milled the ring. That's pretty useful. All right, everything's been cleared off the stack. We take our turn. The first card they are giving us is a land. Sure, let's just get Urza's Saga going. So then let's get the ring back. Cast the ring. We're protected from them. Draw a card. Mox Amber. We'll just keep that in hand for now. Pass back. Opponent cycles Street Wraith. Fury to kill Emery. They are exiling Oliphant. They're playing another land. All right, there is no point in attacking me, so sure. All right, ring goes off. So even if they Living End again, the Fury comes back and kills Emery before I can do anything with it. Ooh, another ring. Making Karnstructs is not really that helpful. So I can do what? I can breach Emery back, but that doesn't matter. All right, draw with the ring. Okay, that's another Emery. So, I don't need to play the ring right now, right? Let's say if their last card is Violent Outburst, then they have 9 damage next turn. I can also play Iteration. So let's play Emery first so we have Amber mana. So cast Emery, milling more cards. We milled nothing of any use. Oh, yes, no, we milled Bolt, so I can potentially just bolt them out of the game next turn. I do need red mana to do that, though. So let's go with Expressive Iteration. Well, we're going to put Iteration into hand, flooded into, or Spire Bluff on the bottom, flooded into exile, play flooded. I guess I save more life. No, I save the exact same amount of life if I make a Karnstruct to block with. So I guess I just pass here. Yeah, pass. And then fetch Steam Vents at the end step. So we take 9 down to 5, then the ring takes us down to 3. All right, no blocks, Snow Forest. They did nothing. All right, fetch, Steam Vents. Then we untap. Ring takes us to 2. Urza's Saga trigger. Let's just float the mana. And then let's grab Springleaf Drum. All right, draw with the ring because we're going to play another ring regardless. So what if I go Ragavan and then do I have any more Ambers in my graveyard? I do not. So I go Ragavan and then I have 1, 2, 3. So breach Ragavan. That costs 2 red here. And then I have Amber, Amber, Drum. That's 3 red. That's not enough to kill them. Oh no, then I get to Emery and I get to Emery one of the Ambers back. So I go 2 mana, breach. So this, breach. Cast Ragavan. I have Amber, Drum, another Amber. I go Amber, tap, bolt them. I have 18 cards, so I should be able to escape 5 times, right? So I think I have it unless they have a counter spell. Yeah, okay. Breach, cast Ragavan, exiling, random stuff I don't need. Ragavan enters, tap for red, play a new Amber, keep this one, tap this for red, Emery back this one, play this one with just normally, keep this one, then bolt, 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 bolt. Yeah, okay. Cast bolt, exiling this, and this. Cast bolt, exiling this, and this. Cast bolt, exile this, and this. And then tap this for red, bolt, exile this. All right, we did it. Game 2, Spell Pierce, Force into Fairy, Tormod's Crypt. I believe that's it. So they'll bring in what? Probably Leyline of the Void, and we can just answer that with our own Teferi. So what do I not want? Unholy Heat is completely useless. Well, it's not completely useless, but it's mostly useless. We can technically evoke Fury ahead of time to have a Fury in play when they Living End back, but that just seems not worth it. Ragavan on the draw, also not as great. We only get 1 hit in with it before they can just Cascade. It might be okay, though. Let's cut 1 of them. I don't want Haywire Might. And then what else? Maybe 2 Ragavans? Okay. And let's submit that. All right, game 2 against Living End on the draw with Grinding Breach. Spell Pierce, Emery, Breach, Bauble, Teferi seems good. All right, keep. I need to fetch Sacred Foundry so that I have white mana for Teferi and red mana. Opponent plays Stomping Ground and shocks it in. All right, cycle Street Wraith. Pitches Grief. Well, that makes our hand worse. I imagine they have to take Teferi, right? Or maybe, I guess we're a turn behind, so maybe they just take Spell Pierce. Yeah, they took Spell Pierce. All right, we drew Spire Bluff, so we don't have to fetch awkwardly now. So let's just go cast the Bauble and then play Flooded first. I'm going to do Emery next turn. All right, we just need to play this for now. All right, pass to the opponent. So they cycled Oliphant, Steam Vents. All right, fetch on end step. Let's grab Sacred Foundry tapped. All right, Spire Bluff, play Emery. Emery resolves. We milled Ragavan, Grinding Station, 2 lands. All right, I'm going to pass and then Bauble them in their upkeep. I don't want to do it now because if Grief comes back, they didn't cycle anything. All right, Bauble. They're drawing a Snow Island, sure. They play a Snow Island. And they just passed it back to us, so they might have Violent Outburst. Well, I guess let's try to resolve Teferi. The alternative is I cast Grinding Station. Actually, can I just win here? Give me a moment to think. All right, so obviously I don't have enough mana to do everything. If I had an Amber in the graveyard, I could, but I don't. So that being the case, I guess we just try to jam Teferi onto the board, and then if they go Violent Outburst in response, we lose the Emery, and then we only get to bounce like 1 creature back to their hand. All right, so let's just fetch the basic island, and then just try to resolve Teferi. So obviously if they have Outburst, they put both of these back in. I bounce, I guess none of them are good bounces. Oh, it resolved. I was not expecting that. All right, well in that case, cast Bauble, and then I guess I just minus it now just to draw another card. All right, and then just pass Bauble on upkeep. So they certainly would have done it in response if they had it. All right, they're drawing Endurance. That's unfortunate. How do they not have any Cascade? They don't have Violent Outburst, and they don't have anything to cycle, and they don't have any counter spells. All right, they play a land. So they're just going to Endurance now to get rid of our graveyard so we can't get Grinding Station back. Yeah, makes sense. Maybe I was supposed to bounce Emery. I don't know. I guess I could have also waited on Bobbling, but I didn't know they were going to draw Endurance before I did that. It's probably still correct to just wait, though. All right, so we draw an extra card off the Bauble. All right, we drew Iteration and Springleaf Drum, so let's just go plus, and then Iteration, Bolt, Grinding Station, Force of Negation. So I can play Grinding Station this turn. So let's put Negation into hand. Yeah, right. Let's put Negation into hand, put Bolt on the bottom, put Grinding Station in exile, and then Shock and a Steam Vents. And then I'm not going to block this Endurance, so they're going to attack Teferi. It's going to die. Or maybe not. Let's say I go Grinding Station, and then they go attack Teferi, and I just block them. And then next turn, I still don't have it set up, but Emery's not doing anything at the moment anyway. She will next turn, though. All right, cast Grinding Station. And then I'm just going to block Endurance. All right, so now they attack the Fairy, we block here. So Emery dies, and then they play another land. Living End doesn't run Fury, right? Because they're shocking in a 5th land. Cycle Architect. They're playing Force of Vigor now on this. All right, so let's just mill ourselves. We milled over the 1 ring and 2 lands. Okay. Ooh, we drew the 1 ring. All right, so plus to Fairy. Endurance gets it off the board if we don't find a way to block. So, okay, I have 5 mana. I go Breach, put Grinding Station back into play, put Emery back into play, and then I can possibly win from that position. So Shock and Breeding Pool, and then go. It depends on if what I mill over with Emery. So let's go tap this, play Breach. Oh, do I not have enough though? I don't have enough, do I? So Grinding Station, pay 2, exile this, and Expressive. So Grinding Station comes back, and then let's play Drum, and then before milling, or before this untaps, activate. Sack this. We didn't mill over anything we can use, so untap Grinding Station. All right, and we're unfortunately out of mana now, but we have another Breach, Force, and 1 ring, so I think we're pretty solid for the next turn. All right, so just pass. This is going to die. Now they'll attack Teferi. They do have Grief, so if they Living End, they get Grief back and they take our Breach. Maybe the best move would have just been play the ring. All right, Teferi gets hit. If I'd built over Tormod's Crypt, I would have also casted that and eaten their graveyard. So yeah, their graveyard right now is Street Wraith, Grief, Oliphant, Architects of Will. Are they gonna? No, okay, so they just don't have it. So can I win now? I go Breach, get back Emery. I still don't have a 0 mana artifact though. Breach, get back a Drum, get back Emery, and then Emery and the Drum together mill 7 cards over. So if I find any 0 mana artifact in those 7 cards, I win. All right, land, Breach. All right, it resolved. So now let's go cast Drum, exile Let's exile one of the rings, the other Emery. No, one of the rings, one of the breaches, and I guess the other breach, or Teferi, one of those. Yeah, Teferi. All right. All right, cast the drum. So, okay, I have to cast Emery before before I sack this. So then cast Emery, and then, all right, I have to get rid of the other 3 anyway. So cast Emery. I wonder, what is our opponent waiting on here? All right, Emery resolves, resolve the mill. We milled over Emery, bobble, bobble. All right, we win. So now we can go tap Emery for, I guess it's premature to tap her. Okay, cast the bobble, remove the other 3, then activate targeting ourselves, sacking the bobble. All right, there's Oracle. So unfortunately we cannot, yeah, so okay, now we'll tap this for mana and then we'll grinding station the drum. All right, so drum, tapping for white, I guess? Yeah, or blue. I guess I need to fetch now, right? Before I lose all the fetchable lands in my deck. So let's grab Hallowed, then use the drum to tap for blue, then target ourselves, milling the drum, or sacking the drum. All right, ooh, Tormod's Crypt. Let's cast that. Exile, exile, exile. Do they like have a piece of interaction here and they're just waiting for us to mill our whole deck over and then try to do something? Because I don't see what the holdup is. What can they have? They can have endurance or counter spells, or maybe they're going to like try to if violent outbursting in response doesn't matter. So I guess no, it does, right? Because if they violent outburst, it puts Thassa's Oracle into play. I want to hold on to this Tormod's Crypt, so I'm going to cast the bauble and escape the other 3. You say maybe they have dress down? Yeah, maybe. All right, target ourselves, sack the bauble. All right, there's Amber. You need Tef and play to be 100% sure. Yeah, I have Force Negation though. All right, so they're casting something in response to that. Okay, so they have Endurance. So they Endurance this now, and I can't cast anything in response to that, unfortunately. So they were just waiting for us to find Amber, I guess. All right, so they target us. We have no response. So if I keep going here, the problem is if I mill over Thassa's Oracle, right? I can keep going, but the moment that I mill Oracle over, I can't escape that anymore. It's probably correct to just keep going, right? Yeah, all right, let's keep going. So me, sack this, try to find Amber. All right, get this back, untap, target us, cast it again, and we'll keep doing this for a while. All right, so there's Amber. Now I can float blue, then hit us again, the Amber back, tap for blue, untap this, hit us. All right, get this back. So we'll just keep going through this loop. So the only danger is if Thassa's Oracle gets hit prematurely. I can go Amber, hold priority, spell pierce my own Amber, pay for it, and then I have extra stuff is one of the things I can do. I'm at 4 mana, right? So yeah, so hold priority. Well, I was trying to hold priority. Right, float blue. Let's try this again, hold priority. There we go. Spell pierce this. I would like to pay for it. Float blue, target me. All right, Amber. We only have 5 cards left. There's Oracle, so we should win now. All right, we got there. Took many clicks, but we got there, and we're 4-0. Going into round 5. Is this finally going to be the one where we get the 5-0? All right, round 5 on the draw with Grinding Breach. Let's see, we have Saga, Amber, Bauble, Expressive Iteration. This seems acceptable. Ooh, Tron with Relic turn 1. Well, that's how it goes. So let's see, Bauble. I probably need to use this now. So let's go fetch land, and then I can go, So just pass it over to my opponent and do it on their end step, I guess. Cast Amber. All right, pass it over to them and then do this on their turn. There's Power Plant. All right, what's on top? Yeah, okay, so they're just doing it in response, sure. Exile Bauble. Grinding Station's on top. I guess I want to keep that. All right, we draw the Grinding Station, and then for turn we drew Ragavan. So let's see. It's probably best to do what? I can go dash, hit them, make a treasure, and then tap the Amber to just play Grinding Station or play Expressive. I can also just play Ragavan. We'll have to fetch regardless. All right, I need to get Steam Vents here. Saga, dash, attack with Ragavan. Takes 2, exile, Relic of Progenitus. I guess that's free. It's a free draw, essentially. Sure, cast this, tapping Amber, and then just pass. Opponent hits us, sure. Do they have the natural Tron? They do not have the natural Tron, but they're scrying for the Tron. All right. And Karn really bones our deck, so we need to find a way out of that soon. I guess I'll target them with this. Why not? All right, Urza's Saga. Then we get a 2 Saga. So let's say they go untap Karn. Then I can just make a Karn struct and then attack Karn to death. So I probably can't dash Ragavan anymore. I need to just play Ragavan, play Urza's Saga, and then hold up the mana to make a Karn struct. Yeah, let's do that. I guess if they have O-Stone, that's worse for me, though. I go land, dash, then I lose the ability to activate the Amber at the end of turn. All right, cast Ragavan normally. Maybe I need to play Iteration this turn. If they don't have Karn, it is possible that I could find... okay, yeah, let's just play Urza Saga pass. All right, pass the turn. Then they have 8 mana. Karn and O-Stone are huge problems. Are they just debating whether to pop this Relic or not? Because if they're debating that, that means their hand's probably not actually useful. All right, mine. Now what? 3 mana for O-Stone, yeah. Well, so be it. Actually, should I have popped... I guess I should have popped this in response because I'm going to do that anyway. So I could have popped it in response and then possibly drawn Spell Pierce. All right, well, So if I just make it now, they're just going to pop the O-Stone regardless of what I do, right? Yeah. So exile Relic to draw a card. I don't particularly want to make a construct that's just going to die anyway, so let's just take our turn. All right, flow to colorless. Flow to colorless? What can I even do with that? All right, just flow to colorless. And then let's grab Mishra's Bauble just so that we can... Or do I grab... Yeah, Mishra's Bauble. Let's say I grab Haywire Might, right? And then I go Breeding Pool, Haywire Might, try to target your O-Stone, then they go in response, pop it, and then I just float Amber and Treasure mana, and then I get to deploy more things. That seems better than just playing a Bauble and drawing a card. Yeah, so let's grab Might. Then we can go Shock, target this. Okay, exile Saga. Then they pop it in response, and then we go float a red, float a white. No, float a blue. Okay, then all of this resolves, and then probably the best move is just cast Expressive Iteration. Try to see what we get. Or maybe it's just deploy Grinding Station. I don't know. There's so many things it could be. Let's cast Expressive. Spell Pierce, I guess, is fine in hand. We've played a land this turn already, so let's put this on the bottom and then exile this card. And we can't cast that, right? Yeah. So then the move here is just... I could make a construct, or I just play Grinding Station. Actually, if I play Grinding Station, it lets me hold Spell Pierce up, which admittedly is not great, but I think that's probably better than just making a construct. All right, pass the turn. All right, well, another tower means there's almost certainly no way we can Spell Pierce anything. 8 mana. Ugin, sure. Bolt us to 14. 1 mana, cast Star, and then just passing. So Ugin bolting us isn't so bad. We have many turns to find it out to it. All right, Saga goes to 3. If I make a construct now, I can play Drum, and I'm gonna go fetch an artifact, and then my construct's a 4/4, so Ugin can't kill it. All right, make a construct, then resolve this. So let's just grab Mox Amber for Mox Amber. No, I need to draw cards. I'm just like, I don't have anything, so let's grab Bauble just in case I need to draw, and then play another Urza Saga, play Drum, and then pass it back. So the construct's a 4/4 now, too big for Ugin to kill, and I guess I have Bolt up. Not that that matters. Opponent cracks Star for green, casts Chromatic Sphere, pops the sphere, makes more green, casts Sylvan Scrying, sure. They have a Blast Zone in their deck, right? Grabs Beseiju. So they're going to Beseiju our Grinding Station, which puts Construct low enough that Ugin can bolt it. I guess I would rather have a land than milling it 3 cards, so yeah, that resolves. Grab Hallowed Fountain. And yeah, Ugin bolts this. I guess I'm going to float blue in response. Oh, 11's to ult. Hang on. Let's just bolt Ugin so they can't ult it next turn. Giganta to hand. And then we take our turn. Well, I guess I probably need to pop his Bauble now because the constructs... Yeah, let's draw a card. They're drawing Ulamog. Okay, things are getting really bad now. We drew Unholy Heat and a land. Then next turn they just go Ulamog, eat Saga, and eat another thing. Alright, we're dead. Game number 2. So, Spell Pierce just to keep them off maps and whatnot early. Force of Negation. Needle, same reason. Prismatic Ending, killing turn 1 map, super important. Wear Tear. Teferi just completely sucks against them, as does Unholy Heat's okay, but if they've resolved a Planeswalker already, it means we're probably just losing. So let's just not play that. Drum is a meh card. I do have to cut more stuff. What else to cut? If we're late enough in the game that I have the ring in play, then it's probably a losing situation. It's also unlikely that we'll be able to bolt them to death as opposed to just Thassa killing them. What would be the last 2 cuts? I guess Ending is useless against literally anything except for map, whereas the other cards are useful against other things. All right, let's, I guess, not play Prismatic. Submit. On the play, game 2. Well, this hand's not very good. It has, like, no actual combo potential. It's just interaction, but they'll eventually just be able to find Tron. So let's mull this. All right, turn 1 Ragavan's better, as is Haywire Might. So keep this and bin one of the islands, I guess. Opponent mulls to 5. All right, Scalding Tarn. Let's go fetch Sacred Foundry. And then cast Ragavan. Pass the turn. Relic of Progenitus. Eat the land out of our graveyard. All right, well, let's just hit them first. Swing. Sylvan Scrying. So I can scry for Urza's Saga. Scry for Urza's Saga, or I just Haywire Might this Relic to prevent them from drawing a card. That doesn't seem terribly useful. This is stopping our eventual combo, though. How much is it going to bite me if I don't just exile Relic right now? It means I can't get Haywire Might back later if I need it. Let's just cast Sylvan. I guess I can also hold Force up, but there's nothing you're going to play on turn 2 that I want to force. All right, cast Sylvan Scrying, go grab Urza's Saga, pass. All right, they might just have Natural Tron. So attack with Ragavan. Do they have Warping Whale? Warping Whale. I don't think I'm winning this game if Ragavan is just going to die here. Maybe it's fine if he dies, and then I just force whatever they play next turn. Yeah, okay. So I can either play Ring. The problem is I don't have another blue mana for Force. I think I just have to hold Force up, right? So let's go land, and then I'll play Haywire Might with this mana, and then just pass with Force up. They're drawing a card with Relic. Tower, so they do not have Tron yet. All right, fetch on end step. Let's go grab Steam Vents. I'm still in the same position of just having to hold Force up, though. They didn't have Tron on turn 3, so it's probably better to just get the Ring down and draw with it right away. They also could just drop Karn, the Great Creator, and then I'm completely dead. I'm not getting into a position, though, where playing the Ring will actually be safe. I need multiple extra turns in order to do that. The problem is if they resolve Karn, the Great Creator, we just die on the spot. All right, let's just play Urza's Saga and attack them for 1. Chromatic Sphere. Cycle it for green. All right, they found Tron. They're casting their Ring. Well, we're going to counter that. Actually, so they resolve it. They get to draw a card. Then we just eat it with Haywire Might, right? But I'm still in the same position of not really being able to untap with my own Ring next turn. They draw 1 card off. Now, let's just counter it. All right, and they had Sylvan Scrying, but it doesn't matter because they already have Tron anyway. Grabbing a Forest. All right, cast Bauble. I don't have enough mana up to play the Ring and have Constructs, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I only have 1 more. Yeah, all right, so let's just play the Ring. I guess I want to hold Haywire Might up if possible. We're going to do this now. They're drawing Chromatic Star. Fetch, grabbing just a land, doesn't matter. Play the Ring, holding up green mana for Might. Draw. Well, attack for the Might. And let's see if we just lose the game next turn. Bauble trigger, we drew Drum. Opponent plays Sundering Titan. All right, so they blow up literally all of our lands. Absolutely disgusting. Oh, and they have more plays after that too? Oh yeah, right, Chromatic Star. Why wouldn't they just cycle that first in case they drew like Ulamog or something? Cast another Chromatic Star, sure. All right, well, take damage from the Ring. This goes up. We can't activate it for the Construct, so let's just float mana. Bauble just to draw more cards. If they untap again, I'm pretty sure we're just losing, right? What do I have in my graveyard? Nothing really? Okay. All right, just grab a Bauble. Draw more cards with the Ring. Still not getting out of this. If I blow this up, they still draw. So I can like Haywire Might it and take 7 from Sundering Titan. That seems really bad. All right, let's play Drum. And then what? I'm definitely not keeping this around, so let's just cycle it now. They're drawing Relic of Progenitus, which is also bad for us. Sagas are not getting us there anymore, so let's just put a land into play so we can fetch it. What do I need to do? I just have so little mana. So what if I just Breach Bauble back and then just draw a whole bunch of cards? I can still have lands to get, right? So I can go to 9. Go to 9. Sundering Titan attacks us. We can blow up Sundering Titan now, I suppose, right? I can go wear this. It dies. We don't have any basic land types in play. Then I don't have mana to do anything else this turn. The alternative is I do what? I go Haywire Might plus the treasure token, play Breach, play Bauble a whole bunch of times to draw more cards, and then we only have 3 lands next turn. I don't want to fetch shock this because the Ring is going to kill us then. So, okay, let's go. I need to fetch my land in tapped regardless of what happens. So let's just go Breach this, cast the Bauble, exile a bunch of other stuff, draw a card, and then Bauble again. What am I drawing? Amber? I do want an Amber. I've lost most of my land, so if I draw Steam Vents back to back, all right. I guess just pass here. Yeah. And then Breach dies. All right. So we just have to fade a turn through them. So Bauble resolves, draw Amber. Bauble resolves, draw Expressive Iteration. Bauble, draw Steam Vents. Are we out of fetchable lands now? We have 1 more, right? Oh, we have 2 more. Okay. Let's get Steam Vents. Draw another card. All right. Well, then they hit us down to 4. If they have Ugin, we lose. So draw a card with Chromatic Star. They have a Relic to redraw as well. Sylvan Scrying. They put Blast Zone. So now they can Blast Zone Haywire plus this Drum, and then we just don't have enough mana to do anything. Yeah, so they're going to just activate Blast Zone immediately. So we would have to have absolutely insane draws from here in order to win. I can play Ragavan and Amber to have more mana. Relic, then they're going to eat our graveyard, presumably. Or they can just wait. Haywire Might of their own, but no green mana to activate it. All right, go to 4. We're drawing with the ring no matter what, so let's just draw and see what our options are. 31 cards left in the deck. I can go Ragavan, Amber, Amber. I have 3 mana. I can play another land. I have 4 mana. And then what after that? If I breach, then they'll just Relic in response and eat our graveyard. All right, cast Bauble, cast Amber. I can kill Sundering Titan. It makes us lose our land here, and then... So I have to play Ragavan, or no, I play Urza Saga, and then this can eat Saga. I play Urza Saga, and I just wear this. We lose the Steam Vents. Okay, I can't win this turn, because Relic is just preventing us from winning. So, I just play Spire Bluff Canal. Alright, Spire Bluff Canal. Play Ragavan, which is basically free because Amber taps. So cast Ragavan for the normal cost. I have 3 mana. Am I just holding up Tear or Wear the Titan? Or am I just holding up Wear the Relic? Like block Wear the Relic, and then I don't have mana from Ambers anymore? This is so rough. I guess if I don't block Haywire Might, I also lose. So I do have to trade with this at least. I have to trade with this and kill the Titan, right? Alright, pass the turn with Wear up Forest, so they can activate Might now. Alright, let's go wear this. So if they want to activate Haywire Might, they have to do it now. Alright, trigger. They eat Steam Vents, they eat their Forest, and then I'm forced to block. Alright, they play their own ring. That's fine. They're empty-handed. They draw a card. They put Giganta in the hand. Alright, let's crack this now because we just need the most shots at drawing into action as possible. Alright, upkeep. Draw a card off Bauble and take 3 from the ring and go to 1. Alright, I have to win now, so draw with the ring. There's Grinding Station, Breach. I don't have any legendary creatures to have Amber mana on, so I go Land, Breach, and then I can't actually cast anything. Well, I can cast the 0 manas. They can also just exile them in response. Yeah, we're dead. GG's. Alright, not the 5-0 we wanted, but the 4-0 that we got. Or the 4-1 we got. Well, overall, I did like the deck a lot. Tron just has, like, what is the saying? 8 ways to Sunday to screw you. Especially Karn the Great Creator, which we never actually saw in that matchup, but that would have been a problem as well. Overall, pretty happy with the deck. I'm not sure if this exact list, like, you know, the one of Spell Pierce in the main, the exact sideboard configuration, but overall feels pretty good.